Good morning, students, and welcome to a whole new week. Whoop whoop, you made it. Great job. Let's get us going here with a little laugh. All right, that's always a good way to start the week. Why don't they play poker in the jungle? It's a true story. They don't play poker in the jungle. They don't. Why not? Too many cheetahs. Because cheetahs cheat. So it's like an animal that runs, but it's also cheetah. Don't play poker with cheetahs. Anyways, our work this week, your main focus is the character analysis. We want that essay to be turned in by the end of the week. So we're going to do a little bit of work each day with that character analysis. You do not need to sit down and write the entire thing in one sitting. That's a lot to do. Break it down a little bit each day as we go. Okay, the goal is to have that turned in by the end of the week. If you are not done reading your book, that's okay. You do not need to be done reading your book. So don't say, I can't do the essay because I'm not done with my book. It is okay to be halfway through your book or a little bit into it that you can still write a character analysis essay. Write it based on what you have read so far. Okay? Our goal today is to look at the introduction. So I would like everybody today to be able to write an introduction to your essay, which shows what you will be focusing on. So here, I'm going to show you what I want you to do. Start with our character analysis. Quick reminder of where we go to see that, right? We're going to go into Google Classroom. We're going to open up our humanities class. We're not going to hang out in the stream, right? That's not what we want to do. So you're going to click on classwork on your iPad. It's probably down at the bottom. On my Mac, it's right up here. So I click on classwork, and then I'm going to look under independent reading. When I go under there, it should be one of the first things right there, character analysis essay. I open that up. I click view assignment. Under instructions, it's got everything that I need right there. Okay, and so for starters, that's where you are going to go. It should even have created a doc for you that says your name and then character analysis essay on which you can open up and start writing. The instructions are right here along with the samples and everything else that you will need. All right, so when you open up your essay, right, we have the directions. This is in Google Classroom. So you open up Google Classroom, you click on classwork, and then you are going to go to the assignment that says character analysis. This is the instructions right here. It says that we want you to create an essay that has an introduction. And in the introduction, we will have the title of the book. We will have a claim or a thesis statement at the end. We will include the author's name, the character's name, a brief summary, kind of guiding us into the rest of the essay. So that is our main focus today, is going to be on writing this introduction. You do not need to be done with your book, but we can all write our introduction. So maybe as you were reading, you already started thinking about character traits and completed one of these sheets. Great. If not, it's not required, but it can help. Here's an example of someone who created one. They picked out a few different character traits and talked about what made them this way. Okay, if they were going for next level, they would find the page number or the actual quote from the book as their evidence. So that's kind of the setup. Then we go into our actual introduction, right? So here's an example of what an introduction could look like. For starters, okay, we have a creative title, From Boy to Man. Now, you may want to put the title of your book in your title. You may want to have your character's name in there. It's up to you, but we want to have some sort of a creative title. Then, when you are ready to start writing, remember we want to have some sort of a hook or background. So let's read through this one. We all have a friend that's scared of something, whether they are scared of the dark, spiders, or snakes. We all know someone like that. In the book Crossing the Wire by Will Hobbs, Victor Flores is that friend. He is a timid young boy who has to travel through Mexico to cross America and Mexico's border. From beginning to end, Victor undergoes a lot of change. Victor was growing physically and mentally into a man. So that's a pretty decent introduction. Okay, it hooks us. A friend that is scared of something. We can all think of being scared and drawing it in. It gives the title of the book right here, along, and that's in italics, okay, or it could be underlined. Then we have the author's name, Will Hobbs, and it introduces the character's name. Okay, so it does all of that background right there. Then it gives us the claim, what we are going to be focusing on. Victor was growing physically and mentally into a man. So we know that the rest of the essay is going to all be about that. Okay, let's take a look at another example. Here again we have a creative title, The Circle of Spirit Bear. So we know that that's going to be tied in somewhere. Touching Spirit Bear by Ben Mickelson showcases Cole Matthews, a troubled boy from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Bullying, harassment, and fighting has been a part of Cole's everyday life until one day he smashed Peter Driscoll's skull into the curb. While Cole was waiting for his sentencing, a second chance appeared in the form of his parole officer. Cole was given the chance of circle justice, which would send Cole to an inhabited island in southeast Alaska for a year, surviving by only Mother Nature. Cole's stay was ended when he was mauled by the ghost White Spirit and left for dead. After 6 months in a hospital, Cole was granted another chance to stay at the island, which opened the door for him to change his terrible life. Throughout Cole's story on the island, he changed into a better person who thrives on kindness. Awesome. There's a ton of background here, right? We have the title of the book. Again, it's in italics. We have the author's name. We have the character's name. Then we have a little bit of a hook, right? Bullying and harassment, something that is part of our society today. Gives background information into the story and then has a claim at the end. Cole's story on the island, he changed into a better person who thrives on kindness. So we know this whole essay is going to be about him changing into a better person. To recap, your goal for this week is the character analysis, right? We're writing the introduction today. So no matter where you are in your book, you can write an introduction. So let's focus in on that, make our introduction strong, include the title of the book, the author's name, the character's name, a little bit of background into the story, and then your claim, what you are going to be focusing on throughout your essay. Okay, that's the goal for today. As you are going, if you want an optional creative writing, you can do your own creative writing throughout the week as well. I have nothing new, but if you wanted to work on a short story, a novel, some poems, etc., we will have a Young Authors Share at 10 a.m. on Friday to kind of get together and celebrate our writing. We had a few people check in last week, which was great, and everybody else is welcome to join. Speaking of live classes on WebEx, every day this week at 10 this week, I will have an optional live WebEx to talk about the writing for today. So today I will talk about the intro, tomorrow I'll talk about the body paragraphs, and then we'll wrap up with the conclusion on Thursday. All right, so that's what we're doing throughout the day.
All right, students, keep up the good work. Mr. DeMarais is no longer here. I am Batman, and I want you to focus in on your character analysis. Do it, make it amazing, and focus on that introduction today. I'll fight crime. You write the essay. That's all I can ask. Have a great week.